Let's take the question of lack of adherence to medication. I'm not talking about antibiotics and headache pills. I'm talking about serious drugs that you must take in order to manage your condition. Chronic disease condition. It might be pulmonary disease, or it might be heart disease. In my home country of Northern Ireland, it was costing the government there, they did a programme, 112 million UK pounds a year extra, over and above what it cost to treat people. Why was that? If you forget to take your medication, almost always, it's 3 o'clock in the morning where you suddenly have an attack. You have to get an ambulance. That brings you to the emergency room. You almost always are admitted to hospital. That means the following. One, you don't want to do that. Nobody wakes up in the middle of the night and says, oh good, I'm going to hospital. Second, you arrive at an A&E, an emergency room, which is already full of people. Third, there are no beds, because they've reserved beds for those who are going to be operated on the next day. So then they have to send texts out and postpone people's operations. So you are now costing the system, both financially and humanly, a real burden. So the government in Northern Ireland came to our ecosystem and said, this is the problem, there must be solutions. It would take us 3 years to buy a solution, because our procurement process takes 3 years. In that 3 years, if you do the maths, that's £336 million they've just lost. No business, no one in their right mind would allow it to take 3 years to find a solution. We created a solution within 6 months by using an innovative European procurement process, which allowed the government to engage with 6 companies who had solutions. They could be trialled and tested in 6 months only, right? 4 then were told, you've lost. 2 are remaining. And all the evaluations so far, it's just about to finish, are that the minimum savings for that government will be somewhere between 60 and 65 million pounds a year for an investment of around 4 to 5 million pounds a year. Now, if I offered you that as a deal, you would say, oh, it's too good to be true, and therefore I wouldn't buy the thing. But in the government's case, they have evidence that by reminders and all sorts of other tools, they can actually get people to take their medication, which has that impact. So humanly, fantastic. Hospital-wise, fantastic. Operation-wise, brilliant. Financially, fantastic, because they can take that saving and invest in other parts of the system. And that's one, there's many other, but that's an example of where that's real, that's tangible, and it's helpful to patients, the system, and financially.